Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. We are going to do the mashupjoey challenge today. The papers that I'll be working with, they are freebies from Joey Card Maker and they're available from his Ko-fi shop. So I will put the links all down in the description box so you don't need to go hunting. If you're on Instagram, follow Joey along because he produces some beautiful stuff, not only digitals, but when he makes stuff, he makes beautiful stuff, ephemera and things like that. So these are the papers for this month. This is the second month of the challenge, and the kit this time is Blossom Blush. So 5 pages. I have also printed out the title page here, which makes a total of 6 pages, just, you know, because we can use bits of that, and I also think it's just pretty, and I love to show you the whole thing. So this is the title page, which you don't have to print. And then this is the Fussy Cuts ephemera pieces. So these beautiful, very, very romantic. It's just so dreamy. Like this month, it just has a real dreamy vibe to it. I love it. It's beautiful. So there's all the fussy cuts. There's 1 page of those, and then there's 4 pages of backgrounds or patterns or whatever you want to call them. So this one, beautiful, beautiful. And this one, I think this one might be one of my favorite backgrounds, just the crumpled paper. I just love that. So that one. This one's super pretty too. And this one with this beautiful floral print here combined with stripes, just lovely. Now what I noticed was when I lay these out in front of me and was thinking about what I would make with these beautiful papers, I noticed Joey has done something very, very clever. If I turn them sideways just so it might be a bit easier, each more decorative pattern or intense or busy pattern is paired with a more writable. Can you see that? So these stripes I would say would be writable. This pattern you could write on that. The crumpled paper, definitely write on that. You could actually write on this one as well, but this one. And then this one you've got this writable part here. So that's what triggered my decision on what to make. Now I did print this out twice because the first time I printed it I forgot to check my printer settings and I had it set on just standard. So the ones I'm actually working with are going to be the standard version. These are the standard vivid, so you may not pick up on camera, there is a difference. So this one is brighter, the pinks are more poppy. It just has a nicer effect than the standard one, which is just, you know, kind of more ink saving. But I'm using the ink saving ones for today's project, just because like I've got 2 copies and this actually works quite well for what I'm going to do. So my first step here is we're going to make double journal cards, little fold out journal cards. So the first step is to fold it in the center between the 2 patterns. Now I have played around with both ways, trimming it out first and then folding, and I think I prefer folding first. So I'm just trying to fold as close to that join between the 2 patterns as I can. Okay, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, just close. Then I'm going to trim it down, trim off the white. That's our first step here. Or second step, I should say. So how are you all going today? It's not quite as cold as it has been this morning. We still had a bit of frost, but it was quite a bit lighter than the previous days. And the sun is shining. It's the prettiest of pretty blue skies out there, just gorgeous. And then trim off this edge and kind of judge whether there's any difference in the width and chop the wider part off if there is any difference. Depends how well you've folded them. Sometimes you need to go in and trim off a little extra bit in case, you know, it's not folded as in half as one would try. And that's looking all good. No white left. So we have folded in half. Right, now I'm going to use 2 glues and I'm going to glue the 2 parts together. So glue stick first right up to the crease line, because we're not going to be risking getting it on our mats or our desk by doing that. And then I'm just stopping short of the edge, so I don't need to grab out glue pages or clean up my desk because I've glued on it. Oops. Right, so good smush of glue stick, good coverage apart from the very edge, and then I'm going to fold it in half, and starting at the center, kind of going to ease out and flatten it out. It's a bit curly, that's okay. And even so, even doing it this way, I quite often end up with it not glued straight. I don't know, it's a special trick that one. Right, and then I just go in with the edges. You can use all glue stick, I just prefer the cleanness of this method. And just go in around the edges, add some tacky glue, and it's going to give it a really nice seal. So I might, that's probably the most white I've had showing from when I've refolded it. I can see I haven't done it straight, so I might give it a further trim up. The others I didn't need to, because I have prepared 3 already. I didn't need to go in. Oh, is that stuck down along that edge? No, just a very, I must have got the glue quite close to the edge along this one. So I'm hoping to get 4 completed is what I'm hoping, and I've already got 3 half done. Now I'm just going to give this slight trim up just to get rid of the white, because there's a little bit much showing for my liking. If I ink around it, it will still be sort of obvious. Oops, got that caught up in my guillotine somehow. Right, and let's just check. Yeah, I'll do an even smaller sliver off this. I don't know how that happens, but it does. But you just go in, give it a little trim up. If you're not happy with it, just trim it up. It'll straighten up, and no one will know that you went a little wonky. And let's face it, a little wonky is fine. You know, where I've gone with my previous 3, where I was a little wonky, it was fine. The ink took care of it, and it was fine. You could no longer see it. But I thought this was just a little bit much white to cover with ink. I'm probably being quite, I don't know, precious or something. Okay, I want to give that a moment for the glue to dry. So I'm going to have a wee sip of my, I've got chai latte this morning, because I've already had 2 coffees, and I thought, yeah, I need a break from coffee, so let's try chai latte. Right, oh, my hands are cold. Right, let's fold this up. So the writing side is going to be on the inside of our journal card. And this pattern, I wasn't sure whether this one would work portrait orientation or whether it would suit more landscape. So I'm going to fold it, and then we'll do a little look-see. I think that works, that totally works as a portrait orientation, which is great because then our lines are in the right direction for writing on. So awesome. My next step is optional. You can do it or not do it, and that is to round the corners on the outside corners. Just hoping that that glue's dry enough for my punch board to work well, and it has. So that's our base of our journal card. Super easy, pretty quick, as you can see. Didn't take a lot of time at all. So here are the 3 that I have prepared. I don't know yet if there's an up or a down. I haven't kind of thought about that. So the pattern, the busier pattern on the outside and the writing pattern on the inside. And these I've already inked around. Aren't they pretty? That one I think I might put that way so the darker pink is at the bottom. Just to me that it's natural that the lighter would be at the top. I guess it's something to do with the sunlight. You know, it's lit from above, so darker at the bottom. Just makes sense in my brain. But, however, it doesn't matter. You can do it either way. Right, so I'm going to ink around this one, because I do want to get them all finished in this video, so I need to take time to ink. But the other 3, they're already done, so you'll only see me doing 1 and inking around the bits and pieces that we decorate with as well. Now, part of the mash up challenge that Joey's doing is that you mash up his papers with whatever else you have in your stash. So you can add other digitals, you can add, you know, whatever you want, doilies, book page, music, you know, whatever. Usual suspects, I would say. I haven't actually thought about what I'm going to add out of my stash. Possibly should have thought about that, but, you know, I did a lot of thinking beforehand and got to a good point before I started the video, so I guess I can't cover all my bases. Maybe after I've been doing this for like 5 years, maybe I'll get as good as thinking ahead all the things. But this is life, guys. This is just me doing my thing, so, you know, don't expect miracles. Right, I'm going to ink the center on the inside as well. Oops, get a bit more ink on my brush. I've still fallen into the habit of not putting enough ink on my brush and like dab, 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 dab. And on the odd occasion where I catch a bit of my video and I watch myself dipping the brush in every 2 seconds, I wouldn't even say 5 seconds, it's like, yeah, I really need to be conscious of that. I really need to ink my brush up good, and so I'm not going back to the ink pad so often. I know I've talked about it before, but, you know, it's on my mind. Right, we're almost done with this, guys. Thank you for hanging in there while I do this task, which, in my opinion, is well worth the time and the effort. There we go. That is all inked around now. So fold it back the other way and decide which way up I'd like it. I quite like that, I think. Yeah, I think that's the front for me. So we decided that one, the heavier pink at the bottom, and this one, I don't know that I've got probably the white and pink at the top. And then this one doesn't matter. And when I flip it over, it's actually exactly the same. So we'll just go with it that way. Now, just don't know if I can get these all in camera completely in frame. It's either they're going to push out this way or this way. So I'll just, might have to shuffle around up and down. So I'm going to work with the fussy cuts, and I've pre-cut them. I know, amazing, right? I've actually pre-cut them. I did that this morning too, before the video. I had a bit of downtime while I was watching YouTube, and I thought, right, let's get those cut out so when it comes to the video, we're good to go. Right, so as I said, I haven't worked out what I might want to put behind anything. It's so pretty and so romantic though. I'm wondering about doily. So let me grab them out. And we can play with them at least. Oh, That's not helpful, putting it so far away from me. There's a couple of different ones there. There's a part one. Yeah. Oh, and 2 of these I've grabbed out. That's okay because we've got 4, so we might need another one yet. Ooh, what if we were to wrap that around? Just had a bit on the back. I quite like that. Do I want a whole one? It fits, height-wise fits better. But I think this colour works better. It's more creamy. I'm going to go with the white one though. The white one's fine. So I'm going to fold it in half, which is, to get the half, I just go right in between 2 of the scallops. Which glue? I'm wondering whether I might use the Tombow over the tacky. I don't know why. I'm just thinking maybe it's a good idea. It's worth a go anyway. And I'm just going to go ahead and stick this on so it has time to dry while we look at the other pieces. So I'm going very quiet while I apply glue. Just trying to get all the bits that I think are important to hit glue with. Right, that should be okay. Going to kind of try and make sure vertically that it's about center. So I don't know whether this glue will end up showing through, and I thought, well, I actually want to try it and see whether it does. Right, now is it a good idea to glue it on flat? I think possibly it is. So we'll go ahead and do the other side. I think there's something very wonderful about having different types of glues. It's also good to have one glue that you love and use for everything, because you don't have to like think about which glue you might want to grab. But I think having options is a very nice thing too. So I like having different options for glues, and it's really experience. Oh, I'm smearing that drastically. That's not good. I obviously put a bit more glue on this side. Let's do a bit of clean up. Yeah, I think it will be okay. I got carried away. Too busy talking. I like having options in glues, and it's experience that kind of makes you reach for a certain glue over another one. Sometimes it does not matter. Quite often it does not matter. But yeah, I do like having options. Right, so move that one aside to dry. Oh, I see even another spot of glue there. I'm just going to wipe up. There we go. I think we're good to go on that one now. We don't have to put doily on all of them, but I kind of like on the corner there. We could wrap it around that way. That's nice too. Okay, put these aside. It looks like I'm kind of doing one at a time on this stage. This one I'm going to use glue stick in the large center here. because there's quite a big expanse of plain area. Whoops, gouged out my glue stick. So I'm going to start with that. I'll just might as well put it centre-ish. Oh, I quite like how that lifts up around there. Just do need to take care of a couple of bits where it's not punched out properly. I should have looked at that before I stuck it down, because now it's a little tricky, but that's okay. And another one over here. I can't quite give it the curve that I want to now that I've glued partly down, but and there's another funny angle bit there. Okay, back to the tombow. I think I'm just going to go around the edge of the scallops and in the center of these kind of flower bits. And maybe along the bottom edge, just so it's not going to get damaged when it goes into a pocket or something. And don't smush it down too hard there and cause glue to go everywhere. So give it a press rather than a scrape. Just working in sections so that the glue doesn't dry on me in between. Gosh, I've gone quiet, haven't I? I'm struggling to find words today. Went from too busy talking that I forgot what I was doing, or made a mess, and now I'm like, I'm not talking at all. So what can I tell you today? Well, exciting. We had another load of firewood delivered this morning. Exciting for me because it means that it keeps the home fires burning. We had one delivered on Monday and another one delivered today. And I'm banned from putting it away in the woodshed because, you know, did my shoulder in after the last 2 times. But my shoulder will be okay. It's just time. And doing the exercises and getting the physiotherapy and that side of things, it will come right. I just wish that it didn't have to take time, you know. I don't want surgery or anything, but I just wish it had never happened to begin with. But that's life, isn't it? These things happen. We don't mean to happen. They just do. So I'm feeling a bit sore today because I had to lift a heavy food box yesterday. I delivered a parcel and the person, let's just say, didn't appear to be home. I suspect they were home, but didn't come to the door. So I had no option but to lift the parcel myself and pop it outside the door. So yeah, there was no way around it. I just had to lift the box out of the car and through the gate and to the door. This other parcel I delivered yesterday, the guy came to the car and very lovely guy, and wouldn't even let me like shuffle it in the back of the car. He was like, no, let me do it. So that was very kind and very helpful, because I am trying to be good and not lift stuff, because it's not going to help my shoulder heal. Right, so we've got 2 left. We could split this. We could grab out another doily. It's not like I don't, but I don't want to cover this up, actually. Do we want to just put a wee snippet up the top corner? Or do we want to put a wee snippet top and bottom, maybe? And not wrap it round this time. Or do we want to do something? Let's do something different. It's like, yeah, no, I've done doily twice now. Let's switch it up. Maybe some sheet music might be nice. Here's a little bit. Here's a little bit more. Here's an even smaller bit. I did have my music book out, but I think I popped it away again because it's big, so it's like it's in the way. So I'll put it away, but once again, I'm running short on sheet music in my bag. Here's even smallish bit. Okay, that looks like what we've got to play with. So this is the bigger bit. Lovely and creamy paper. I don't want to cover that up, whereas this, it's got the same pattern all over, so I don't mind. I think I might just, because this is around a corner, I didn't want a right angle edge there. I thought that wouldn't look so great. I do want to stress around this. And yes, I do have the Olympics playing on the TV on silent, on mute in front of me. I was watching the cycle racing, what do they call it, where they're a team and they race around the track. There's a special name. I just can't think of what it is because I had it on mute, so I'm sure if I'd had the sound on, I would have probably heard it several times what that race is called. But the Kiwis, they would, in the women's race, they were doing really well. So I don't know whether it was a final or what. But yeah, super good to see my fellow country people, because we're only a small nation in terms of the world. It's really cool to see them go out on the world stage and perform so very well. So I think maybe, I don't think it was a final, but I think there's a good chance that we're in medal contention in that. Is it repechage? Repechage that it's called? It just floated into my brain. I think that might be what it's called. So let's do music on this one as well, but I don't actually want a lot. And I don't want that red. That's actually printed red. It's not somebody that's been doodling. It's kind of looking for an interesting bit. Tear it off there. Kind of up the top there. I like that. Let's give it some ink. I guess that's one thing about the Olympics. You do have an opportunity to see a whole range of different sports. Whether you like them all or not, it just gives you a little glimpse into them. And at the level they're competing, it's just incredible to watch. Even those sports that you don't actually really care about or don't like to watch normally, just the level they're competing at is so advanced that it's captivating. At least that's how I found it. Like, you just can't help but watch, because it's like, my goodness, the stakes, the effort, the expertise, the strain, the focus they have is just beautiful to watch. Whatever the sport, it's just so intense. Love it. And I'm not a huge sports watcher, as you know, if you follow me. I very rarely talk about sports because I don't really, as a rule, watch them. Do I want another bit down the bottom here? Might need to go from the other way. Like, just to kind of balance it out a little bit. I think I will. And normally I would like compose the whole thing, then glue it down, but today I'm just kind of making it up as I go along. Because it will turn out, and I may regret a choice and think, oh, I should have waited and put that under there or over top of there. But that's my overthinking brain kicking in, so I'm trying not to overthink. Wish me luck, because you know I'm not great at not overthink. Is that upside down? Don't know, doesn't matter. It's living this way up now. Right, so that's it for the music. Unless she says, trying to put it away, and then she's like, am I done with the music? Oh, that one's torn. Oh, that's where I tore it. And yeah, of course it's torn, because I actually tore it. And then changed my mind where I was tearing it. I think that other bit was upside down actually, but it's fine. Do I want to pop? I think I do. I'll pop a little bit there. I'm kind of going a little bit grungy with these too. With I don't know whether it's grungy or just more vintagey, but I am doing a bit of inking. And my apologies if I'm slipping out of frame. I've got this sort of demarcation here where I think I need to be above that, but in the process of just getting busy, I forget to think about it. And before you know it, I'm like, oh, whoops, I think I'm a bit low. They probably can't see what I'm doing anymore. Right. So where I had that wee tear that I tore into, I just kind of added ink into that tear just to make it stand out. So I put it there and changed my mind, but why not play with it? So it's just got a little bit of dirtiness around that tear. And I'm just going to go about there with that. Okay, so this should be dry enough now to fold it back up. Just give it a good crease, because it's a bit thicker now along the crease line with that doily. And let's fold this one as well. Oh, that one's cracked along the spine just a little bit, but it's fine. It's a journal card. It's not like a journal cover. It's not going to get a huge amount of wear and tear. Okay, grab my fussy cuts. Do I want anything on this one? Maybe let's go text instead. Just need to grab out a bit of text. Do we want a bit of knitting pattern? It's got some fun numbers and stuff on it. Kind of want to keep away from covering that too much. We could put that down there. Let's do it. Oh, that's typical, isn't it? You glance up to catch a little bit of action from the Olympics and it's an ad break. How boring. We so seldom watch live TV now that ads are minimal on streamed TV. And when you go back and watch live TV, like we're watching the Olympics, or I'm watching the Olympics, it's just like, oh my gosh, so many ads, and like clockwork, like 15 minutes or so, an ad break. And it's not one ad or two ads, it's like, 5 or 6. And it's like, oh, so boring. But on the other hand, I kind of did miss ad breaks because it gave you time to like go and wash a few dishes or make a cuppa or do something like that. Now you've got to pause what you're watching. It's so bad, isn't it? Having to pause something, that's terrible. Ooh. Now's going to come the crunch point where I start playing with the fussy cuts and going, oh, what am I covering? What's everything's so pretty? And doing, because like that's going to cover a lot, isn't it? But it is beautiful. But we have plenty to play with, so let's just trial. That doesn't cover as much, and I like the colours with that creamy music paper. This one covers most of the doily, so perhaps not. I could trim the picture down a bit. Would be something else just below the arms maybe. I think I'm going to do that. Careful not to chop a finger off. So we're just losing part of their bodies and the stems on the flowers, on the bouquet that she's holding. So I can live with that. Still covers quite a lot. There's a shorter picture here though. This beautiful girl. That's actually quite lovely because we've got this flowers up in the top corner. So if we position her kind of in here, it's like two lots of flowers she's turning around to smell. I like that there. Okay. I'm just going to stack these up. This one, I think I like that one on there, so I'll leave that one there. This one I've got a placement problem. I'm either covering too much doily or too much music or too much of both. We do have a floral here though. We could just go floral. And I quite like that. Do I want to mat it out on something? Okay, I'm going to start with this one. I think I want to mat it onto something. I'm thinking maybe text, some sort of book page in a different colour, like not white, not this same shade. There's a bit of coffee dyed knitting pattern. Can I find something a bit better? I'm just looking for colour really. This is a bit of a Spanish book. There's definitely a colour difference. And do I want it torn or do I want it straight? I think I want it straight, like a frame, you know, a proper frame. So I'm going to glue it on and then I'm going to trim it out. Oh, do I want to ink around it first? Yes, I do. I could just offset it and like do the book text and then offset this. It doesn't have to be like a frame, but I just want to go down the frame kind of look for this. Almost like it's a bit of artwork on the wall. As this very much reminds me of wallpaper, the pattern on this particular journal card. So it is kind of guiding. This actually would probably have been a good colour, although it's quite close to the music, so I think we'll stick with this, with the Spanish. Better check time soon, see how we're doing on time. Now, it's got a slight border down there where the text doesn't carry right across, so I might trim that down a little bit more and get rid of that border or area of blank. Right, so the trick here is to try and cut an even-sized border. So it's only going to be narrow. I'm lining the edge of the picture up with the very edge of the plastic guard, which is like just literally millimeters away from where it cuts. So that's what I'm using to guide to make my cuts straight and to make them even depth. So it's just a very, very narrow border, which is what I was going for. Oh, and I've ended up with a blank bit at the top. Oh well, that's okay. It'll be fine. We're going to add some ink, so I can't pick up things. My fingers have actually warmed up, which is good. Right. Those over there. Now, I like the contrast between the torn and the scallop and the straight edges. It kind of all plays together quite nicely. If you're going to mix up the effects, then go all in. Like mix up straight, crooked, torn, fancy edge, you know, just play with it. It can be really, really fun. And the border is so narrow that I've effectively inked the whole edge of the book page. Like the whole bit that's showing is inked, which is fine by me. Okay, so let's put that there. Just use tacky glue. So food bank this afternoon. I had 2 parcels that I referred to that I delivered yesterday, which was unusual. We don't normally deliver on a Tuesday, but we had 2 urgent ones, so I took care of those. And then for today, so far I have 3 to do. Absolutely loving it. I just really enjoy it. But we had so many parcels go out last week and over the weekend. I had 5 to do on Saturday, which is like, we don't normally do Saturdays, and I had 5. So many parcels go out that we actually ran out of almost all of the fresh food. So we had no milk left for some of the parcels. So the ones that yesterday had to get milk powder or UHT milk, because we'd run out, and we had no fresh vegetables apart from potatoes, mushrooms and onions. That was it for the fresh veg. So frozen veg it was. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to today's delivery and getting some more fresh food in. I mean, the fresh food has to come in and go out fairly quickly because it needs to be used, but to have none available for parcels is, yeah, it's quite tricky sometimes. You're scratching your head going, well, what else can I put in their parcel that we've got and not run short of other things? So, you know, tinned goods, and we don't have a lot of tinned goods either. I went shopping last week and stocked up on tinned tomatoes and spaghetti and some dry pasta, and we're over halfway through what I bought already, just because the volume has shot up. It's almost like I've come on board and now like the floodgates have opened. It's like, okay, you've the person who is running it, and still is running it, but is not actually doing much of the packing or anything. If there is one in the weekend, she typically does it, but she was away last weekend, so I did it with hubby's help. What was I saying? I completely lost track of my point. There's so much going out. Tins, yeah, halfway through what I bought. I don't know. I've lost it, guys. I've completely lost the point of what I was saying. Oh, I like that. That's really pretty. I do, though, need to just kind of distress along those edges. front and back. Because that's part of the look, and I needed to just do that. I'm also going to ink around this wee butterfly. There was actually a box around the butterfly, so you don't need to like completely fussy cut it. So when I cut it out, I cut it around the box because it gave me the option of which way I wanted to use it. But I decided I wanted to cut it out like this. Something so effective about overlapping things, overlapping elements and putting them different angles, and just works. It just makes everything look so super cool. Layered is a very, very good technique to use in any art, I believe. Oh, that's so pretty. I'm wondering about whether I want a word, although I really like it as is. I'm just going to leave it because I think that's super pretty. Okay, one done. Let's move on because we do want to get all four, can we? Oh, we're running out of time. I better motor. Right, this one. Do I want to? I think I might round the corners on this one. Just pop my glue lid on. And hopefully this will punch nicely since it's just a single layer. Oh, yep, not a problem. Sometimes it punches better if you have a couple of layers. But this one seems to be doing a-okay. Right, ink. So I'm still going to have some scraps left over once I've done these four, which is cool. You could also put little pockets either on the front or on the inside. Something I just thought about. I hadn't thought about that previously, but you could totally add a little pocket, pop in a little journal card or something, or a wee tag. That could be fun. No, everything's always customizable. I might put that more up in that corner like that. And then there's these cute little labely bits. Now these are cut from the kit, the version that I printed in standard. So some of them are quite pale because of that. So they're pale to begin with, but they're extra pale because of the setting I had on my printer. So they are brighter and more distinct. You might not be able to tell the detail on the... I wonder. Like, I want mini brads. I do have some that were sent to me, but I haven't got them handy. But a wee mini brad in that would be quite fun to have as a little swing part. But yeah, as I said, I don't have them beside me or even in the same room. No, I don't like that laid over. So maybe we'll save that for something else. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, I'm just going to go for it. Got to move on. We've got 2 more to do after this. So thank you for these beautiful papers, Joey, and for the challenge. I'm having so much fun with it. Really appreciate it, my friend. It's just, there's something about working with digital papers that I find incredibly inspiring. Like, I like to lay them out, look them over, turn them round, you know, handle them and study them for a little bit and let them speak to me about what they want to be. Sometimes I'll have a project in mind and then I'll look at the papers and go, will these suit this project? But other times I just like to study and it's like, what do you want to be? How would you look good? Like these ones with the patterned paper beside the more writable paper pretty quickly presented themselves to me as a double journal card, fold out journal card. using the writing side on the inside. Don't know if you designed it that way specifically, Joey, but totally works for me. Do we want to add this cool number strip? Maybe not on this one because I already decided what I wanted. So let's go to the next one. Again, I want to ink along that edge there. I think I will keep her with straight right angle corners. Okay. I quite like her right in the middle of that doily. Do I want her right against the edge or just a little gap? Maybe a little gap. Do we want to use the number with her? Yes, I do. Do we want something else? Again, I don't want to cover over all those florals. No, don't like that. No, maybe a smaller one. Fiddling around, just trying different options. I haven't really added much from my stash, have I? But that's okay. I'm just having fun playing with what's already in the kit from Joey. No, I think I just like the number, so let's glue her down. I haven't added any textile or anything. I wonder if I should make a bit of lace or something, although I want to keep them fairly flat. Getting close to lunchtime. I'm getting hungry, my friends. Getting hungry. It's so funny. I haven't told you. Hubby, last shopping day, hubby put $20 in my account and told me to go and buy some work-related food, because he has treats at work. The boss buys them lunches quite often, you know, semi-regularly. They have work chocolate, they have lollies, you know, all sorts of stuff. We don't typically eat the lollies or anything, but you know, he's got access to stuff during the day, and then when somebody has a birthday, there'll be a shout and that person will bring in savouries and sweet treats and stuff. So he has a reasonable amount of yummy things, and I don't. So I do the shopping for the household and buy, you know, groceries to do both of us and the cats for 2 weeks. And so he put $20 in my account and told me to buy work-related food treats. I've only spent $8 of it so far, of that 20, and I bought some salted cashews, and what else did I buy? Some strawberry sugar-free mints and some sugar-free Werther's caramels. What else did I buy? A cheap packet of just little biscuits, just, you know, a small pack, and some Fruz balls. You might know them as bliss balls, or, you know, they're sort of like coconut and nuts and cocoa and stuff. And these ones have got a double filling, just 5 in a bag. And so I had 2 of those before the video, and they were quite yummy. I hadn't had those ones before. They were quite yummy. Oh, I actually don't mind that up there. Do I want it vertical or horizontal? No, I don't like it vertical. I don't want it on top of her hair. Okay, let's put it there. Why not? Wondering about whether we need to put a word inside it or laid across it. And I might just give it a little ink across the front just to dirty it up, so to speak. Yep, just because the doily's white, so it was a little bit blendy. Now it stands out just a little bit more. So really simple project, not hard to achieve, but really effective and fun. Have I got a small word, stamped word, that will fit in there? Hugs would actually fit. Just going to have a quick look, see what else I might have that might work. Hello. Don't know that I want the blue though. Journey. What about, is that too big? That would actually fit. Let's do journey. So I just need to sort of tear off the ends to make it fit. Yep, cool. And I'm going to ink this as well. So I might as well not inked on top of that little label because I'm ending up covering it. But there you go. That's how it goes sometimes. You do something and end up covering it up, and we need to be okay with that. I know oftentimes I am not. I struggle to cover what I've already think looks pretty. Just got a little bit of doily stuck to me that's annoying me. Just trying to get it off. It just fits quite nicely inside that little label there. Pretty. I'm loving these. I'm not going to add anything on the back. That actually could be writing space on the back of that one. Right, we're up to the last one, and we've got like 2.5 minutes to get it done. I don't think, or maybe we do want to cut out a butterfly. Just when I say we're down to the wire, and she wants to fussy cut a butterfly. Well, I'm not going to fussy cut it. I'm going to kiss cut it. I do apologise in advance if we go a minute or two over time, just because I want to fussy cut or kiss cut a butterfly. You know, some things you just got to do. Because I really like that, just quite simply. And then a little about there. I think that's all it needs. I think it's perfectly lovely. I don't want to cover over all of that beautiful background paper. We're already covering quite a significant portion, and that's okay. I've already got another copy printed, so not the end of the world, is it? So I'm going to put you right in the middle as much as I can eyeball it. And ink around this little fellow, or maybe it's a felless, a lassie, because it's pink. It's funny how we colour code gender, isn't it? It's really quite funny, but you know, there is good reason why that's traditionally been the case, because there's been a traditional slant one way or the other in terms of colour preference. Right, again, sorry, I was probably off camera then. Right, little butterfly. I'm wondering about a word now. Okay, let's have a look at the words. Inspiration. That's what you've given us, Joey. You've given us inspiration. So I think that would probably be quite appropriate to pop it on here. Now I'm not going to be able to tear that, so I'm just going to give it straight edges. There's no way I'm going to be able to tear that little edge and give it a rough edge. I would just tear the word in half. Yeah, just a little inspiration on our journal card. A little bit of inspiration from our friend Joey Card Maker. Inspiration. There we go. And that one I am calling done. So we got 4 done, my friends. And I've still got, you know, bits and pieces left over to play with, which is super fun. They'll go into my stash. They will be used. So we have this one. Let me lift them up. Last one that we did with the fun stripes inside and this beautiful back. I mean, we've still got all that prettiness, so we haven't covered it all. It's that one. Then we have our journey with this beautiful, oh, she's so dreamy, and that fun crumpled paper inside. Then we have this one with this beautiful lady, just simple with a wee rose label there on the book, on the music. Then that one, you could also write on the back with a dark pen. And then this one, the first one we did with just the first one, maybe not, I don't remember, with the framed out flowers, the wee butterfly, and then it's got the, that is the inside, and again you could write on the back of that as well. So fun little journal cards. Thank you so much, Joey. It was so much fun to play with these printables, and I'll be using them again, that's for sure. They are awesome to have in my stash. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Have a great day, and I'll catch you again tomorrow. See you then. Bye.